Max Holloway, Arnold Allen, UFC Kansas City fight night.
Oh,
Gonna be a banger, so we're here to break it down.
yes. Cannot wait for this fight. This is one of those, we just talked about it with Cheeto and Sandhagen. This is one of those, like, these are the guys, and they're actually fighting each other. I can't believe it's not a title fight. It's kind of crazy to have this caliber of a fight not be a title fight. Who should we get into first? I mean, Arnold Allen.
I say we go Arnold because we got Max has a very lengthy resume to talk about.
For sure. I mean, Arnold Allen has been looking so good. You know, he hasn't nowhere near the resume of Holloway, but he's been winning, like, and kind of making it look easy. You know, the last fight out with Cater, a bit of a letdown because we know Cater's better than that. His knee blew out on him, and the fight kind of ended before it really got going. That made me sad. I didn't know who to pick in that fight because I really like Calvin Cater.
Yeah, me either.
I would also like to see Arnold Allen, go up against some of these top guys. So, you know, but a win is a win. Before that, he got the TKO over
Dan Hooker.
First
round.
Which Hooker is a savage, but also he's been, like, on a bit of a slide, right? So that's another, like, I don't want to call it a blemish. You know, it's definitely an impressive win. You know, I'm happy.
I wouldn't say it's a blemish. Can't say it's a blemish. Dan Hooker's going to come out and fight no matter what.
Yeah, and Hooker's as good as they come. He really is. I mean, he's the captain over there at City Kickboxing for a reason. You know what I mean? He's the real deal. But he just has had a bit of a stretch of bad luck, in my opinion. All those fights he lost, he probably could have won on another night, but whatever. It's all water under the bridge at this point. But kid's looking good. You know what I mean? Arnold Allen, he's like kind of got that dry English sense of humor, but it's charming. You know, like I kind of like his thing that he's got going. He's a cool guy, and I'm very, very excited to see him fighting Max Holloway. This is that fight where we're going to find out if Arnold Allen is the real deal.
This is that one fight where all the up-and-comers, you have to have a fight like this to prove you're the guy. Everyone's had it. Israel Adesanya with Kelvin Gastelum, who no one thought that was going to be the fight for him, but everyone has had that fight where it was just that tipping point. They're either, going to exceed expectations and reach that new level, or have to come back and get a few more fights before they get to that level. And Arnold Allen is, the biggest question I have for him, honestly, is how is his cardio going to hold up for 5 rounds? Because more than likely, Max is going to be there for 5 rounds, and Arnold likes finishing people quick.
Max is most definitely going to be there for 5 rounds, unless he's the one. Unless he's the one that gets you out of it. I mean, come on, Max. I don't think Max has ever been knocked down. Not to mention
he still has that.
Out. That's insane when you think about the people that he's fought. Besides Alexander Volkanovski, Max Holloway is the best featherweight on the planet Earth, not named Alexander the Great. Right? There's no question in my head. I always talk about my biases. I'm a little bit biased. I love Max Holloway. He is one of my favorite fighters, active fighters to watch right now. So exciting. When you look back at some of the things that he's done, first of all, he put a beating on Jose Aldo twice. Like, bad beatings, too. Like so bad that nobody, like, even if you thought maybe he would win, you didn't think it would make Aldo look the way he did.
Never.
Excuse me. Got a little tickle the past couple days.
Little thing going on in there.
Beat Anthony Pettis, former champion. Beat Charles Oliveira, one of the best lightweight champions that we've ever had. Moved up to fight Dustin Poirier at 55. Stayed in there with him for the 25 rounds. Poirier put it on him a little bit, but that was one of those fights where I don't really think Max wasn't trying to move up a weight class. He didn't bulk any muscle up. This wasn't like a career shift. This was just like, let me test myself in this weight class. And, it didn't work out for his favor, but Dustin Poirier is one of the greatest fighters of all time.
Very competitive.
It was an extremely competitive fight. They had fought already at 45. I believe Dustin got the submission there. So out of Holloway's losses, 2 of them come from Dustin Poirier. But that's no shade, because Dustin DP is one of the greatest fighters, in my opinion, to ever walk the earth. He's got the 3 fights with Volk. The first 2, I'm kind of, I lean towards Max in those 2. The last one, Volk won clear. Even clear. My biased ass was like, damn, Volk won that. I thought he looked incredible. I thought it was his best work in the Ortega fight. Then we saw the Calvin Kattar fight, and he got even better. Then we saw the Rodriguez fight, and he looked even better. Like, this Max Holloway, outside of, again, his last fight with Volk and maybe the going up in weight to fight Dustin Poirier, the last couple fights outside of those guys, he's just been looking better and better and better, just on another level. Like, Max Holloway, man, is that guy. Talk about another cool guy. Bring him to my birthday party too. Holloway, you're invited. Holloway's invited. And I love how exciting he is to watch, man. His hands are so accurate. He said his training during the lockdown was like playing the UFC video game and like hitting a heavy bag in his garage.
The new moves.
Give me a break. He goes, I'll try that. Maybe that'll work. Like, I love the back and forth he has with DC, for the daddest man on the planet. Like, come on, man. How can you not love this guy? Holloway is not only super, super awesome guy, but he is one bad man when he gets inside that cage. And I'll tell you what, I'm gonna make my prediction.
All right, let's hear it.
I'm just gonna come out with it. I'm going Holloway. I think Arnold Allen can be the champion one day. I don't think he's got the experience to deal with the pressure and just that consistent pace
in your face
of Max Holloway.
Fight.
Holloway is not going to get shook. He is not the experience level is a little lopsided. I'm not even saying the skill level, just the experience level is way in Max's favor. And again, outside of Alexander the Great, I don't think there's a featherweight on the planet that has anything for Max Holloway.
I think that statement right there really reassured me after seeing what Yair Rodriguez just did to Josh Emmett. Because after that hot Max and Yair fight, I was like, oh, all right, Max Holloway, beat another contender. That's just what Max does. And, I didn't give much credit to it because it was kind of just what I expected, to be honest. No offense to Yair. He's the interim champ right now. But after what I saw Yair do to Josh Emmett, I was like, all right, 1, Yair is that guy, and 2, Max Holloway is even more of that guy. I'm leaning Max Holloway with you, just with the experience and who he has fought. I think the cardio is going to be a factor if we go rounds 4 and 5. I don't think Arnold's been to a 3rd round. Does he have a decision win?
I'm not sure, but like you said, most of his finishes come in the 1st round.
He gets people out quick.
He's a fast starter. Definitely has power in his hands. But
I definitely think he can game plan to, pace him out a little more, because this is it was a main event with Calvin Kattar, but that ended kind of, whatever. Sucks. But I'm going to lean Max. I don't know if Max is going to get the finish. I want to say he's going to in round 4 or 5, just because he's going to drown him like really bad, like a Calvin Kattar bad. But I don't know if Arnold will have that Calvin Kattar grit to make it through 5 if that happens.
Yeah, we just haven't seen that much of Arnold Allen, especially like even in the fights and the rounds that we get to see. It's not like anybody has really put him in bad, real deep waters. You know, Max is going to bring him there, and it's either he's gonna sink or swim. I mean, it's gonna be like hold fast, baby, because you're about to like be in a real deal fight. You know, I don't really see. Of course, anything can happen. I don't really see him getting Holloway out of there early. And if there is a stoppage outside of the first, second, third rounds, I see it going on the side of Holloway.
Yeah, I mean, I just think this is one of those situations where they might be jumping the gun with putting Arnold up there at the top. I would have liked to see maybe another contender that's not Max Holloway.
Yeah,
especially after what happened in his last fight, because there was no real questions answered about Arnold Allen, just because of how it ended, and that's not his fault. I mean, it ended how it ended, but I think he should get another contender before Max Holloway, but it's where we're at. And if he goes out and does the Cinderella story, then he's the next guy in line.
Yeah, for sure. Even maybe the Josh Emmett fight, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That, like, Emmett, I'm not going to try to talk bad about Josh Emmett right now, but I'm not super high on his technical abilities. He's got a really powerful punch. He can wrestle. He chooses not to most of the time. And those hooks get him out of there early most of the time. You know what I mean? I think with the Yair kind of proved that he was the much more dynamic striker. He had incredible jiu-jitsu, obviously. I think we've talked about it before. He's very underrated jiu-jitsu. You're not really, like, a lot of his wins are by submission. And it's like, you don't really think of him as a submission fighter, but he finds a way to get them. If he pieces you up on his feet, he'll get you down, he could submit you. So I think, you know, I didn't really give Emmett a chance at the belt other than maybe just finding a home for one of those big, powerful shots.
Yep.
So I would almost like to see him versus Arnold Allen if like the Max Holloway thing wasn't happening. I thought that would be like kind of a fun fight because Emmett is in the top of the division. Do we have 145 rankings? Do you have those?
Oh, yeah, we do. We have Yair, interim, Max, Brian Ortega, Arnold Allen, Josh Emmett right now. That's in that order.
In that order. I mean, Ortega's a sleeper in that division, bro. He still could be
tough ending to that Yair fight, so that's another question.
Yeah, I mean, Ortega's proven his grit over and over and over again. That Alexander Volkanovski fight, that fight had me on the edge of my seat.
That's ingrained in my memory forever.
Yeah, like watching him almost get the finish and then take a beating and then almost get the finish and then take a beating and just stay in there. Oh my goodness. And the way he stayed in there against the Holloway's beating. Oh my goodness. Like, Brian Ortega is one of the toughest. Excuse me. Edit that out.
Yep.
Ortega is definitely one of the toughest in the division. He, you know, that top 5 is pretty insane as far as technical fighters and just wow, you know, this is another really exciting.
They all got different styles, which makes the matchups even more fun. Like we were just talking about the welterweights, they're heavy on the wrestling. This division is not heavy on one thing. They're all kind of bringing something different.
I agree. Much more dynamic. I don't want to say complete, but it's more like they have more of everything. It's hard. Yeah. It's hard to not say complete. Like they're just not really too heavy in one spot or another. I guess striking, you know, like Holloway's not exactly a wrestler, you know.
Yeah. But their striking's all different, which makes it fun.
Yeah, they're all video game players. Like, you know what I mean? They're characters in a video game, and they all do have very distinct styles. Very fun matchups. I can't wait to watch this Arnold Allen fight. I know I picked heavy. I went heavy on my Max pick, but Arnold Allen's a great fighter, and
Yeah,
he is going to show up, I'm sure, and he's going to fight very hard. I think we'll know a lot about who Arnold Allen is after the
absolutely.
first round. We're going to really see what kind of fighter Arnold Allen is, because Max is not going to go away easily.
No, Max never goes away, and I'm excited to find out what's up with Arnold Allen because his name has been around a lot and a lot of buzz around it. So, and this is the one where we really find out. We are going to find out who Arnold Allen is.
That's all I got on these two.
Yeah, I mean, there's not much more to say. I'm just ready for this fight because they're both going to be throwing. They're both not going to go away. And what more is there to say? Fight of the night in the making.
Oh, for sure. I can't wait to watch this fight. It could be fight of the year candidate.
Yeah, we got a lot of those already.
Honestly.
I got nothing else on this one. I mean, the featherweights are loaded up. They're all lined up to fight pretty soon. We're getting answers to our questions, and we got a big fight coming in April. Sorry,
April. Yeah, 3 weeks. 3 weeks about from now.
Hey, big 3 weeks coming up. We got a lot of cards, but that's all we got here. You got anything left on these guys?
No, I'm tapped on my Holloway fanboying.
We're taking you out. See you guys in the next one, whatever that may be. Peace. Like, comment, subscribe.
Please.
Always.
And thank you.